Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we ended up running more Ordo missions, knocked all those out. And this time we're starting up a new Void Crusade! Yay! It is, I actually had it already selected, Viridian. Not doing hardcore, mostly because I don't know what it does. Overall loot bonus and quantity increased by 50%. Well, considering I get pummeled to death at least once, I'm not gonna gamble on that. If I was, ballin' and can't get up, sure. But not really able to do that. So let's do Viridian. And I have a map again, so I can hopefully not screw this up. Our first fight is actually this one. Nurgle Demons, Infested Station. I don't know what we have to do for this, but we'll be fine. Yeah, that works.
Between the stars, the ancient, unseen enemies of mankind wait and hunger. Be strong and give them no quarter.
Here's to hopefully getting a Demon Forged weapon out of this. Oh, it's just an extermination. Okay, cool. I was kind of worried it was going to be some weird mission. But if you've been following the 40K tabletop stuff lately, the boarding action stuff got announced and is out and what have you. And it looks pretty good. I like it. The best way I'd describe it for people who aren't sure what it is it's like Kill Team, but not Kill Team. In the sense of, it's small team tactics using like a very small team. But you use, your normal full-sized units. So you have a squad of Terminators. It's not, you have Brother Jeremiah, who is the one Terminator. It's a full squad. Which is cool. I like the idea. You don't get big things, no demon engines. I don't think you get any vehicles. Because it's supposed to be boarding ships or arcs. So, Space Hulks. Which is cool. But I'd also like it for something like Imperial Guard. I'd like a Sentinel. Maybe, I stress the maybe, a Lehman Russ. But that might be too much. But I would accept a Sentinel. I think that's fine. But I think it's cool. I want to look into it, kind of see what people are building for armies. Get a general vibe check. Because I would like to see for certain what we're kind of looking at for what's needed. Because if anything, this could be kind of my personal break into actually getting miniatures. Because like how it was with Kill Team, people created, or to a degree Games Workshop made a single player rule set. And I would I'd buy one of the box sets that's like 2 armies. I think there was like the Indomitus Crusade, which was Ultramarines and Necrons, which works out because I want to get Necrons. Though I wouldn't go Ultra Smurfs, I would prefer probably... that's a tough one. I'd probably go Salamanders. I gotta rep Salamanders. Maybe Space Wolves. I like the Hellfrost weapons. I think they're dope. But in general, yeah, definitely Salamanders first and foremost. But I'd get into that. You don't need a ton of units. You don't need a ton of stuff, so you could, in theory, play that. Then I'd have to go Chaos. See, the problem there is there's a few different directions. I'd have to get at least 2 sets of Chaos, because I want to do 3 sets. I say that because I'd want to do Lost and the Damned, so Renegade Guardsmen. Absolutely have to. I would want to do a team for Thousand Suns, 4 teams now that I'm thinking about it, because then I would want to have Black Legion, even though I don't like Black Legion. I would, for the sake of having a neutral faction that I'm just like, oh, these are the generic AI that I fight. If I played with kind of a single player rule set. And then I would have to have Death Guard, because please, my love of zombies in games and my already existing love for Death Guard, I can't just be like, no, I'm not gonna get Death Guard. That's not how this works. So I'd have to get them. So it'd be a number of factions, but it would be cheaper than trying to get like a 2,000 point army. Or play Tau. God, playing Tau would be expensive. I would like to play Tau, but I'm one of those guys who's like, I like I think it's what, the XV or VX stealth suits? And Fire Warriors. I don't like Crisis suits. I don't like any of the big mecha kind of stuff in the game, because I think their infantry looks cool. It just sucks their infantry has the physical strength of a wet napkin. I remember there was a meme I saw. If you remember the meme where it was the guy slaps the hood of the car and he's like, this bad boy can fit so many whatever in it. It was one where this guy, he's showing off a Fire Warrior and he slaps the Tau and he's like, this bad boy, and then the Tau just falls over dead. I saw that and thought, yeah, that's accurate. Alright, next mission is, I think, this one. Yes. Hopefully I don't have to restart this like I did the last one, because I screw up somewhere.
Noospheric auger shows terminal levels of Nurgle infestation. Immediate intervention required. May the Deus Mechanicus lead you to galvanic salvation.
But depending on like what box sets I would need, I think it would probably be cheaper to actually play the boarding action stuff than it would be to play Kill Team. Because Kill Team, I did the math, just ordering on, like, not Miniatures Market, because Miniatures Market had everything discounted, which also, good to look there if you want to buy stuff. I'm not sponsored, I'm not getting anything, I just know you get stuff cheaper. So it's like, hey, cheaper stuff. But I was looking on, like, Amazon, trying to price out all of the Kill Team sets. Keep in mind this is just the sets that include terrain, and just the terrain sets, no additional army boxes, no additional single hero units, nothing like that. It was going to cost me around $1,400. Not with any paints, nothing, just the terrain sets. Which, admittedly, some of the sets did come with armies. So it wasn't a complete, like, I'm just buying terrain at that point. Because I know I've looked at some of those box sets, and they do come with some armies or some characters, so you can kind of start playing initially. But It's a lot of money, which kind of sucks because I'm a big terrain guy. That's the big thing for me when it comes to tabletop games, is I need terrain. Because I've played like D&D when you're going cheapo beepo mode and you have to have like stand-ins, and it's like, oh, we don't have a dragon miniature, so this, you know, tin of spam, which laid sideways fits in the space, is now a dragon. Yeah, you can make believe and it works, but man, it really sucks to look at and it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's a tin of spam. Oh, what creature's the empty Coke can? Oh, that's supposed to be an ogre. It loses a bit of the luster. And terrain is just so cool. And admittedly, the boarding action set seems to it looks to have a lot of the stuff that looks to be from one of the Kill Team sets. Which at first you'd think, oh, so you wouldn't need to buy the Kill Team set. No, I'd still buy that exact same set. One, because it comes with miniatures. Two, because then I can just have bigger fights. That's entirely my thing, is, oh, I'll just put more stuff in. And it'd be cool to do the boarding action co-op stuff. Like I had said before, I got a friend of mine interested in Sisters of Battle. And even if he didn't have a set and I had a Sisters set, and then him and I could just hang out, play that. He'd play Sisters, I'd play somebody. If, in theory, if I had all the armies I wanted, I could just grab whomst ever and have a good time. But then we could grab, like, Black Legion and Death Guard and be like, oh, it's a ship that they both have. We gotta fight them off and do some little PvE thing, and it'd be fun. Because I've said before, I'm not competitive in tabletop. I'm not competitive in card games. I barely had that experience years ago playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Dealt with some absolute sweat-stained people who ran Exodia library decks. They'd spend like $100, $200 on a deck built around drawing 5 cards. And then they'd sit there, spend 20 minutes on a turn, and act like they're some tactical genius. It's like, no, dude, literally every card you just played is draw a card. You're not intelligent, you just have every card chain. But I dealt with that, and nah, I'm not about that life. I don't need to deal with that. It's like when you're trying to play like Call of Duty or something, and you see some absolute sweat stain do, like, I remember in Black Ops 3 it was the G slide, and they'd be doing like that and then jump 360ing and all this stuff, and you're like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? You're not getting picked up by phase. This is just random, you know, this is a pug match. What are you doing? Pub stomping does not equate to anything. It just makes you look like a chode. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. The rules, I didn't look at a ton at the rules, I just saw, because they had a free thing. It's like, hey, here's kind of the team comps that are allowed and some of the little rules per faction. I looked at and thought, oh, that's neat. I'd probably have to get some data slates or whatever I need for factions, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. Because I'm not playing competitive, I just intermittently get those. I'd have to get the magnets for the arms and stuff just so I can remove them or do whatever as needed. Because I know I've seen a bunch of people, it's like molybdenum? Or neodymium? Whatever. I don't know. At a certain point, the periodic table just starts getting real wonky for pronunciations. But it was something like that. And they're like, oh yeah, you use these magnets. Because you can get really small ones. And I thought, oh, that's cool. And then promptly forgot exactly which ones it was. Alright, let's dump off all this junk. Oh, this is where I'm getting the move slow. Movement speed for all enemies. That's fine.
The enemies of the Imperium are infinite, and such a vast threat can only be fought with ingenuity. Kill the Masters, and you will render a sea of vermin helpless.
Nope, that is not the button. What is the button I'm looking for? That is the button. Okay. I forgot to check, because the map I have has sub-maps, and I forgot to check them for the last missions, and I'm kind of hoping I didn't screw up. If I did, oh well. But I hope the boarding actions kind of stick around. I think they're a neat mode, and I think a smaller team mode is kind of what's needed for 40k, because even as it stands, I feel like there isn't anything that's a good small intro design, but needing maybe, I'm trying to think what it was, because it's like you need one headquarters unit, up to 3 of something and 3 of something else, I think. It's very small armies. And I thought, oh, that's cool. And it seems like it's a lot cheaper armies because it's not anything big. So you're not sitting here going, oh, time to spend, what, like $200 on a Baneblade? I think there's like a boarding, I want to say it's a boarding action set you can buy, because I remember seeing something like that on Bella Lost Souls. They were talking about it and everybody had said, yeah, the pricing is really weird because some of them are really good deals. They're like $120, $150, but you're getting like almost $300 worth of stuff in them. And then some of them, you're getting like $180 worth of stuff. Which, end of the day, you're still saving money. But you're not saving nearly as much. And I didn't think about it too much, but then it kind of dawned on me. I was like, yeah, that is a problem. If you have this really incongruent pricing, because then it almost feels like you're trying to almost push one faction over another, when it is likely not that. It's likely just trying to bundle stuff up and existing pricing kind of being wonky. Hang on. Since there's supposed to be a teleporter right here, because this is the map.
Such a crude trap against an Inquisitor. A few turrets.
oh, that's just chest or loot. I thought that yellow box was teleporter. Because I was like, oh crap, I've been missing teleporters potentially. Well, it makes sense considering there's 2 of them here. It'd be kind of weird to be like, oh yeah, there's 2 teleporters on this run. Because there's no place on the map to spawn them. Okay, I'm just dumb. I'll take that. Man, I'm actually kind of really excited for boarding actions. Just because I do think it has potential. And I keep saying, games like this do need a single-player PvE mode for players. Some people they're shy. Or in the case of like me, I don't have a place nearby for 40k playing. My nearest hobby shop is essentially a Magic shop. Everybody I know who goes there plays Magic. Everybody I know at the other place, well actually I do have 2 places nearby, and the other place is also Magic. Yeah, so there's like nowhere for 40k. There's probably like a 40k night they have, but I realistically don't know how many people actually show. I assume it's maybe like a handful of dudes. The one place that might have a number of people is a good distance away from me, so I can't sit down and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna... Even once a week, that's kind of a steep drive, which does suck, but it's not like making a single player thing is that difficult. I look at X-Wing and stuff where they just use like a deck of cards and just are like, okay, every one of them has a different command associated with them. Just draw something, and that's the command issued to that unit. Doesn't have to be the greatest design. I have never seen this. Like, one, I'm being chased by a plasma blast, but also a word bearer's decimator? I've never seen that before. I've only seen the Black Legion ones, because they have a flamethrower. That's cool. Also, I keep saying it, Games Workshop needs to drive down the cost of their miniatures. If you can sell more, you can take a bit of a hit on the price. As it stands, it's absurd. $200 for a Baneblade is absolutely nuts. Okay, let's get this mulched. And that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.